I have immense pleasure in welcoming and introducing Shri M. Venkaiah Naidu, Honorable Union Minister, Urban Development, Housing and Urban Poverty Alleviation, Government of India. A prominent leader, brilliant orator and a popular political figure, Shri Naidu has a long political career. With his visionary thoughts and implementation, there is a lot of progress and development happening in the urban areas of India. I would humbly request Shri Naidu sir to kindly share with us his visionary ideas regarding smart cities. Over to you, sir.
Our guest today, Honorable Minister from Denmark, Sri Mogens Jensen, my counterpart here in Gujarat, Sri Shankarbai Chaudhary, Sri Satyendra Singh Parmar, my Secretary in the Urban Development, Sri Shankar Agarwal, Sri Adoria, Secretary Urban Development, Government of Gujarat, Sri Vivek Patel, Chairman Housing Board, Gujarat, distinguished delegates from different countries and also delegates from different parts of India and more particularly the delegates from the state of Gujarat. Friends, I am indeed very happy to be amidst you today. My Secretary Sri Shankar Agarwalji has made a presentation about smart cities. Now what is happening in India? What is happening in the world? Now all roads are leading to India. From various parts of the globe, all roads are leading to India thanks to the able leadership of Sri Narendra Bhai Modi. Earlier, all roads in India used to lead towards Ahmedabad, Baroda, Surat, Rajkot, Jamnagar, etc. Because Gujarat was a pioneering state, pioneering in reforms, pioneering in performance, pioneering in entrepreneurship, pioneering in development. That used to happen in Gujarat. Now, because the leader has shifted from Gujarat to Delhi, now all roads of the globe are leading to India. That's why now the focus is on India and in resurgent India. Friends, one great soul from Gujarat has shown the way and fought for the freedom. And finally, under his able leadership, he got freedom to India. That is Mahatma Gandhi, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Another great son from this same soil. He unified India after partition and then brought all the 500 plus samsthanas, provinces together. That is great Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel of the same soil. Now another great son of the same soil, Sri Narendra Bhai Modi, who has got the character, caliber, capacity, discipline, dynamism, dedication, devotion. He is able to get the world attention towards India and making India as a happening country. It's that to resurgent India. So friends, today we are here for a feel of vibrancy of Gujarat. The seeds for the vibrancy were sown by Sri Narendra Modi. Beej unhone dala hai. He has sown the seeds here, and country wanted these seeds to be sown in different parts of the country. That's why the country has invited him to Delhi. In the recent elections, I don't want to talk politics, but the fact of the matter is the entire country, after a gap of 30 years, have voted for a able leader and a stable government. After 30 years, single party got majority in the country. That is the leadership of Narendra Bhai Modi. The BJP got majority. Friends, after 60 years of so much debate and discussion on the Soviet model of socialism and different philosophies, now people have come to the conclusion. The latest philosophy is welfare through economic growth and development. That is the philosophy. Welfare through economic development and growth. Growth and economic development brings welfare. Because without growth, you cannot have welfare. Welfare and growth are like both eyes of a human being. Without one, the other is not be useful. So now the country is on the growth path. The country is on the developmental path. Friends, the economic developments unfolds opportunities to all sections of aspirants. The Prime Minister is committed to inclusive growth. Growth only not for few people, Ambanis, Tatas, Birlas, Dalmias, Singhanis, but growth for all people, irrespective of caste, creed, sex, religion and region. All people, Atak to Katak, Kanyakumari to Kashmir, everybody should feel he is partner in the development of the country. That is the aim of the Prime Minister. That's why he is working in this direction. Friends, sabke saath, sabka vikas. Sabka saath or sabka vikas. That is the guidance the Honorable Prime Minister has given. He has also given a 3S mantra: skill, scale and speed. Skill, scale and speed. That is the mantra he has given. He has also given another direction to us of the BCDC. Make in India, MI, Make in India, SI, Skill India, DI, Digital India, CI, Clean India. That is MISI-DC, 4-point program he has given to the country. And now country has caught that mantra and is moving forward. Friends, we heard the Prime Minister yesterday. He has given his vision of transforming India and its broad contours. I don't want to elaborate on that. He has said enough of it. And he has a great skill, capacity of directly connecting the people. Direct a person sitting in Jamnagar, in Himayat Nagar of Hyderabad, or even Anantapur, or the Kanyakumari in deep south. He has a knack of reaching, ability of reaching to everyone, directly touching their heart. That's why the message has gone. Friends, I am a Parliamentary Affairs Minister also, along with the development. I would like to briefly share with you that what we have been doing to indicate our commitment to remove hurdles in the way of economic recovery. Investors both within and outside India have been led to despair and even the event of last few years. Because there was a fiscal deficit, there was a trade deficit, there was a revenue deficit, there was a current account deficit, above all there was a trust deficit. Now, we have come out of that. The leadership has come back, the trust has come back, the confidence has come back, the investments are coming. Things started moving. There is no more policy paralysis. There is more proactive role on the part of the government. That's why everybody is looking to the country and everybody is looking to invest in India. The aspirations of the young Indians, they do not want anything at all. They want development, speedy development. That is the mantra, that is the adesha, that is the direction the Prime Minister has given. On one side, development, and to see that the development reaches the people, good governance. Development without good governance has no meaning. That's why he has combined both. That's why people are happy with him and they are continue their journey with him. It's not only May, in June, in August, in September, in November, in December, wherever elections are held, people are moving with Modi, saying Modi, 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 Modi. That is it. The reason is simple. The reason is simple. Because of the development agenda, it's catching the imagination of the people. The younger India want to connect themselves with the development agenda of the Prime Minister. That's why the country is moving with him. I am sure in the coming days also it will move with him. This was the context in which last elections people gave him a clear majority. We have comfortable majority in Lok Sabha. We are getting all the bills passed. The insurance bill, the coal bill, the labor reforms bill, the e-rickshaw bill. The lot of registrations were passed in the Lok Sabha. But sometimes they get stuck in the upper house because we do not have adequate numbers. But that also I am sure in the coming days, within 1 year, the situation will change. It's not only Lok Sabha, it will be Rajya Sabha, the Lok Sabha, the Upper Sabha, and even the local Sabha. Every Sabha, there will be a complete support for Narendra Bhai Modi. The reason is because of development again, nothing else. I am not talking of 56 इंच का चेस्ट के बारे में बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मगर जो उन्होंने जो विकास का एजेंडा दिया है, लोग उससे प्रभावित हैं. People are having hunger. They want development. They want roads, they want infrastructure, they want drainage, they want drinking water, they want sanitation, they want better communication facilities, they want better transport facilities, they want better education facilities, they want better medical facilities, they want good house, They want all these facilities. That's why country is moving with him. Be assured that is going to be the story for the coming 5 years, for the coming 10 years, even above also. The story will continue, the growth will continue. So be assured, you can feel free to come and invest in India, and you can feel free and come and invest in Gujarat, where we are having this. Friends, at times whenever the challenge comes, the government do not hesitate to take strong actions. We have gone for ordinance on the land acquisition. We have gone for ordinance on the coal. We have gone for ordinance on other important issues because the ordinance is a constitutional provision and we want to show our commitment to reforms. That's why these actions are taking place. Some people are saying, sir, और भी जल्दी से जाना, तेजी से आगे बढ़ना. भाई प्रकृति का कुछ नियम होता है. वो नियम को आप तोड़ नहीं सकते. रात में दिन नहीं आएगा, मगर रात के बाद दिन आएगा ही जरूर. इसको ध्यान रखना चाहिए. If you want to have day in the night, it cannot happen even if fluorescent lights also. But the day will come. So day is coming. One after another developments are taking. We are a democracy. We are not a autocracy. Or we are not a communist government. Here we have a center, we have a state, we have an urban local body. A three-tier government, we have to take everybody with us. We have a Lok Sabha, we have a Local Sabha, we have a Rajya Sabha. We have to take those houses also along with us. We have different political parties in our democratic system. That is the beauty of this country. We have to take all of them along with us. So it will take time, and one after another steps will be taken. I want to tell our friends, some of them who are, some of the friends who are from the business community and industry, who are very eager. Some people are saying, sir, it will move faster and all. It's not a machine. It is a system. It's a democracy. Yes, Prime Minister said, no red tape, but there will be red carpet. Even to spread the red carpet also it takes time, na? To spread the carpet also it takes time. So what is happening in India is a democratic process. The Prime Minister is committed. I told you skill, scale and speed. That is the mantra he has given. The entire country is moving like this. Friends, the urbanization is moving faster. In Gujarat it is 43%. National level it is 31%. By 2030 it will go to 40%. By 2050 it will go to 50%, even in India also. Because it has become a reality now. All opportunities are now there mostly in urban areas, so it is happening. I can tell you, even I migrated from rural area to urban area. I was rural development minister earlier, now I have become urban development minister. जो पूरा देश में जो परिवर्तन हो रहा है, though Mahatma Gandhi said back to villages, those days have gone now. Now urban areas are the engines of the growth. Urban areas are the engines of the growth. 63% of the GDP is from urban areas. If you move at the same speed, I am told it will be 80% of the GDP will come from urban areas. So we have to focus on urban governance. My ministry is taking steps for urban reforms and urban regeneration. For that we want people's participation. Without people's participation you cannot perform and you can't reform. That has to be kept in mind. Because people are vital to our planning. People are central to our planning. Keeping that in mind, we have to take the people through our system, the municipalities, the corporations, the nagarpalikas, nagar panchayats. They have to be educated. They have to be told what is required, and then they have to be taken on board, and then only you have to move forward. This is what is happening. A lot of municipal commissioners, mayors, and other important functionaries of Gujarat are here. That's why, of course, Gujarat is showing the way, its progress. But you need to standardize it, and then you need to set some standards and speed limits also, how faster you can move. Because people of Gujarat, they are entrepreneurs, they are hardworking, they are development oriented. They want to become partners in prosperity, irrespective of the communities. There is a misconception, even in the Gujarat is the reality. Here, the per capita income of the Muslim community, who are minorities in India, is highest in Gujarat and compared to other parts of India. That is the reason. Because the Prime Minister said the people are people. Why do you differentiate Muslims, Christians, Hindus, this, that and all? They are all people, all 5.5 crore Gujaratis. That's what he used to say. Now he is saying 125 crore Indians. Some people are trying to divert the attention of the people from the main issues and then bring in other issues. And then because of some statements made here and there by some people, they are being blown up. And some people are trying to divert the attention from the focus of development and good governance to other issues. I can assure you, I am the former president of this party, one of the senior ministers working in this government. The government is undeterred by these attempts. We are aware of this campaign, but I can assure you, our goal, our development to see that India becomes a prosperous nation, strong nation, stable nation. For that, development. Some people are saying, "Oh, statement diya, इन्होंने statement दिया, उन्होंने सुब्बा राव ने statement दिया, जो ने statement दिया, PM उसके बारे में बोला, हर एक विषय के बारे में PM बोलना है क्या? फिर PM बोल रहा है तो फिर मंत्री क्यों? In our system, PM presides, cabinet decides. That is the system beauty of India. That is the beauty of India. The cabinet ministers are all equally responsible. We are all there to aid the Prime Minister. We are all there to implement the government agenda. The agenda is development. The agenda is good governance, nothing else. We are very clear about it. Be assured of it. I want to tell you, friends, because certain sections of the people here, some anglicized minds, sitting in Delhi and writing stories, saying, ये हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है, ये हो रहा है, agenda ऐसा हो गया, derail हो गया, कुछ नहीं हुआ. रेल पटरे पे है, तेजी से आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, और तेजी से आगे बढ़ेगा. आने वाले दिनों में बुलेट ट्रेन भी आने वाले हैं. ये हमारा प्रधानमंत्री का स्वप्न है, स्वप्न को वो साकार करते हैं. If you want to really move forward, you must have dreams of growth and plans of growth. This is what the Prime Minister has told us. It is going to happen, friends. He has taken up a Swachh Bharat mission, Clean India, taking clue from Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi said, cleanliness is next to godliness. So Clean India, entire country campaign is on. And I'm told the other day, Anand Behan told me, in 159 municipal towns of Gujarat, there is going to be 100% Swachhata in the coming days. Really hats off to Gujarat people, and others also should follow this example. But it cannot be done overnight. एक दिन का काम नहीं है, चलते रहेगा कार्यक्रम है ना. मैं लास्ट टाइम भी कहा, मैं अभी भी कहना चाहता हूँ, ये स्वच्छता हर एक दिन, हर एक मन, हर एक जन, हर एक में होना चाहिए. नहीं तो केवल सरकार का नहीं है, पॉलिटिकल पार्टी का नहीं है. स्वच्छता इज अ कैंपेन ऑफ द पीपल. ये जन आंदोलन बनना चाहिए. जैसा आपका दाढ़ी होता है ना, बियर्ड, you shave the beard every day. If you don't shave it and say, I will do it next October 2nd, then you will become a sadhu. So the campaign, people's participation has to be there, and the municipal commissioners and the mayors and the municipal chairman, they have to educate the people, create awareness, create infrastructure, and then think of registration. That is the approach. And second point is, friends, PM thinks something, Modi ji thinks something. It should happen. It should happen with skill, scale, and speed. One example I'll give you before I move to smart cities. My secretary has made my burden less because he has made a presentation about smart cities. The Prime Minister said there has to be financial inclusion. After 68 years of independence, 58% of Indian population do not have access to banking services. They do not have bank accounts. The Prime Minister told us it should be done. We told him, sir, it will be done in 5 years. He said, 5 years? हमने कहा जो 50 साल में नहीं हो पाया उसके लिए कम से कम 5 साल लगेगा. उन्होंने कहा नहीं, 1 साल में होना चाहिए. He said it should be done in 1 year. 1 year? We were skeptical. Some of us were skeptical. But friends, I can tell you, 9 weeks are over since the launching of this Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhana Yojana, the Prime Minister's financial inclusion scheme. Only 9 weeks are over. 10 crore people have opened their bank accounts. 10 crore लोगों ने अपना बैंक अकाउंट खोला है. Where there is a will, there is a way. That is the Modi way. That is the modified way in this country, modified way. I am not talking of BT cotton genetic seeds. Modification of the mindset of the people. You call it as modification or modification. Whatever classification you may give. But it is the speed in which the Prime Minister is working. It's a huge country. We have so many challenges. We have inherited a bad situation. I told you we have inherited a bad economy. Vajpayee ji left at 8.4% growth. And our friends from the earlier regime has successfully brought it down to 4.6% from 8.4. And from 4.6 now it has gone to 5.7. I can assure you next year it will reach 6.5 and then move forward 7, 7.5, etc. I'm not just making a statement. The economy is back on rails. The economy is back on rails. Steps are being taken. But this will happen only if all the states combine together. This Gujarat, vibrant Gujarat, is a demonstration of the will of the people of Gujarat. And this is giving inspiration to other states. I am very happy. Now there is a competition, there is a Bengal summit, there is an Andhra summit, there will be a Karnataka summit, there is a Maharashtra summit. Yes, all these things should happen. Every state must compete with the other states. It's like a sportsman spirit. We should all, at the end of it, initially we play Gujarat Cricket Board versus Maharashtra Cricket Board. Rajasthan team versus Chennai team. I don't know Chennai team is there or not now in the recent controversies. I'm not an expert on cricket that way. I only see. I'm not a player. I'm only a doer in a government. So they play and people are excited. But when it comes to playing with the neighbor, then it's Team India 11. So Prime Minister said all the states must come together, state and center. Team India. That is the spirit the Prime Minister has given to us, Narendra Modi has given to us. So we have to compete with each other, learn from other experiences. What are the innovative things Gujarat is doing? Why people are going to Gujarat only? Sometime back, Ratan Tata seems to have opined and said in media, as per the reports, he said, if you don't invest in Gujarat, you must be a fool. If you don't invest in Gujarat, you must be a fool. That's what I read in the newspapers. Tata saying it. That means that great opportunities are there in this land. Doing business with ease, removing all the red tape. That's what the way the Gujarat has shown. And people also want development. They don't come to street protesting, हमको ये plant नहीं चाहिए, वो plant नहीं चाहिए, ये plant नहीं चाहिए, वो plant. वो एक गुजरात में आदत ये है, हमको ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए, लाओ, आ जाओ, करो, ये. ये temperament पूरा देश में होना चाहिए. We had enough of it. 68 years we had enough of it. The other competitive politics. Now competitive development should be the need of the hour. Competitive development should be the need of the hour. हम आगे बढ़ना, गुजरात से भी आगे बढ़ना, प्रयास करो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. तेजी से आगे बढ़ना, जनता का उत्थान करना, सबका साथ, सबका विकास. That is the theme. So friends, coming back to you, I can only assure you, our government is committed for better urban life. Then coming to the smart city. What is smart? Smart do not mean smart person. Yes, you need a smart leader. You need a smart leader. I'm not talking of smart leader means 6 foot height, weight, tie, hat, boot, suit, coat. Yeah, smart means taking decisions. Smart means like Narendra Modi. I'm not talking of his jacket. I'm not talking of his 56 or 54 inches chest and all. The capacity, the caliber, the conduct, the discipline, the dynamism, the dedication, the devotion, and the determination, that is the smart leadership. That every municipal town must have a smart leader. Every state must have a smart leader. Every department must have a smart leader. The municipal commissioner must be smart. He must be ready to get up at 5:30 in the morning and go to the streets and lead the campaign for cleanliness. Show the way to other supervisors and all, being smart. And then we also need smart people. People are to be told, this is what you are likely to get. This is what Denmark has been saying. This is what Barcelona. This is what so-and-so in so-and-so country. This is what Singapore. This is what Sweden. Show those models, show those better examples and ask the people to get motivated. If you tell the people, if you follow transparency, paradashakata, if you follow accountability, jawabdari, people will be willing to come with you. What is required is transparency. What is required is accountability, fixing accountability. If there is a lack of progress, if there is a failure, or if there is a corruption, make X, Y, Z responsible. Then people will automatically, they will be happy to pay taxes. If you don't work and then ask for tax, then you will be axed. They will be taxed and you will be axed in the next election. So that has to be understood by one and all. That is the smart leadership that is required. Friends, an ideal smart city means livable, providing clean and healthy living conditions. Second, workable, providing infrastructure like energy connectivity, computing and essential services to compete globally. And sustainable, providing the required services without stealing from the future generations. Stealing from the future generations. You don't tax, you go on spending and leave it to the next regime. Like the earlier regime has left everything to us now. 43.3% of Indian revenues are going for interest repayments because they have not done their duty earlier. Yes, we are capable of taking up the challenge. Friends, sustainable, providing the required services without stealing from future generations. Apart from this, smart city should be inclusive. Good quality of life must encompass all sections of the society. It should also be affordable. Cost of services must be within the reach of the people. The common future is key role played by the information and communication technology, IT services. What should a smart city look like? All aspects of city life and environment would be smart. A smart city economy would attract business and investments, ensuring economic growth and employment to the people. Environment would be clean and green. Smart grids would provide efficient energy services, while renewable sources, particularly solar energy. Every house must have a solar panel. Every building must have a solar panel. Every house must have a rainwater harvesting system. Every city must have water recycling system. Every city must have solid waste management. Every city must have segregation of the waste at the entry point itself. And every household must take care to see that they don't misuse the opportunity given, they follow the rules. Some time back, I met a Singapore Prime Minister and former Prime Minister. The former Prime Minister is very knowledgeable that way, a very experienced senior person. Still is the minister now. He told me Singapore is a fine city. Fine city. I remember long back I have been to Singapore and right away I told him, yes sir, you are a fine city also. Fine city, fines city. They fine if you violate the law. You need first for that, in India you can't do it overnight. You have to create awareness among the people, educate them. Second, you need to create infrastructure, toilets, solid waste management, dustbins, parking lots. You have to show all this and then you go for registration. That also can be done. It has to be done, if not today, tomorrow, if not tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Not in the sense of actual tomorrow, day after tomorrow, after doing this. So this is also there in the pipeline in India. The environment has to be clean and green, and my friends, renewable energy sources, uninterrupted and clean supply of power. In India, there is a competition for free power. I always have a theory, free power means first low power, then no power. No power is free power only. But in Gujarat, where we are there is no free power in Gujarat. The power is comparatively not that much cheaper in Gujarat, but still people are paying it and people are coming to Gujarat. People are voting for the same party in the 3 elections. Even the prices are high because there is assured power. There is a quality power in Gujarat. 24 घंटा बिजली है, इसलिए गुजरात में लोग आ रहे हैं. So people want quality power, not free power alone. If the government is so rich, and like Sweden or like Denmark or like other countries, Brazil, you can grow and then you can give free everything, fine. But we are a developing country. We are in an advanced stage. So we have to correct charges also and then maintain it also. Viability also has to be seen. Supply of good quality water, reinforced by conservation and recycling. Mobility would be smooth. Commuters would use more public transport. People-friendly walkways will make walking a pleasure. There would be adequate parks, public spaces for recreation, smart technologies, connectivity, easy access to information and make life more secure and comfortable. These are all the critical factors for a smart city. The question is how to make it really work. That is the issue. In the first phase, you need a new approach to city planning. Ek naya soch chahiye. And then the land use oriented master plan must be given way to holistic planning and integrates the economic, social and environmental dimension of city life. Adequate funding has to be organized. Both physical and digital and other services has to be taken care. This cannot come entirely from the government. The other day I was in Barcelona, Spain, for World Smart City Congress. And I was landing from the flight. My idea of Barcelona was all high-rise buildings, very smart glass houses, this, that and all, whatever I saw on TV and all. But I was landing, I saw as if some drawing was drawn on a paper, number of lines. The entire city was in lines and by lines, systematic, very organized, very simple. Then after I landed and went around the city, to my surprise and pleasure, I found they have not altered the basic architecture of their country, Spain, because everybody feel proud about their roots, about their culture, about their heritage, about their architecture. So in India also, we must also keep in mind nature, culture, and then go for better future. Combine nature and culture. Preserve your heritage. Gujarat is known for something. Rajasthan is known for something. Delhi has got its own architecture. Our forefathers who have lived for thousands of years and then gave us this heritage. आदि काल से, वेद काल से हमारा पूर्वजों ने जो दिया और जिया और हमको दिया, विरासत में जो मिला, उससे हम गर्व महसूस करना चाहिए, उसको प्रिजर्व करना चाहिए. We should feel proud of the same. So friends, coming to last point, what is the way forward? The way forward is, you cannot expect the government to spend this much amount of money. Lakhs of crores are needed. I don't want to frighten you by giving those figures. I have the figures also with me. Lakhs of crores. We have our own resources. The government will definitely provide viability gap funding. The government will give you the broad idea, contours, and also government will be a facilitator. The central government and the state government. It has to be through PPP model only. Private-public partnership is the way forward for the smart cities in the country. That's where there are a lot of opportunities for foreign companies, a lot of opportunities for Indian companies also to come and invest. And we are trying to create the proper atmosphere for that. Friends, the government will provide bridge financing through viability gap funding. Private sector has to come out with cost-effective technologies to deal with issues relating to traffic measurement, parking, saving water, prevention of crime, extreme weather events, etc. The most critical factor in making smart cities is smart governance, as I told you. So keeping that in mind, if we are able to come forward with our proposals and then make that presentation before the country and before the people and before our friends from other countries who want to come here and then invest. So this, we have to, first of all, strengthen the physical, social, economic and institutional infrastructure for better living. If we want to intend to promote walk to work living, use of public transport, this is another area. People have a fascination for cars. In Delhi, my capital city, there are 85 lakh cars. 85 lakh cars. Horrible traffic congestion. You must shift towards a public transport. Now metros are coming in big way. We have a metro in Delhi, we plan for metro in Ahmedabad, metro in Chennai, metro in Cochin, metro in Bangalore, metro in Calcutta. These metros are one way forward to decongest the cities. Recently, I appointed a committee under the chairmanship of my secretary about how to decongest, how to unclog Delhi and other cities. They have come with certain ideas. We have to keep them in mind while formulating our smart cities in the coming days. So we have to plan for public transport system. People should leave their car and get into public transport, go to the workplace and come back and take the car back home. Car should be used only for going out on a vacation or on an occasion. It should not become a vocation. That should be understood by one and all. Otherwise, we'll be adding to the traffic congestion. So, friends, that will be part of the smart city concept. At the end of the day, I say, you evolve plans. Solid waste management. What is the project of our municipality? How much it costs? Have a DPR prepared. Drinking water 24/7. Water recycling plant for our city. Or or a transportation, or a metro, or BRTS. Evolve plans. Prepare detailed project reports. Get it vetted by the state government. The center will also step in, give its helping hand, and will pose it before private people, Indian companies, foreign companies. Now foreign direct investment also is made easy. We have liberalized it also. A lot of people want to invest in India. So they will come. We will all join together. And then we can go for creating cities. Cities cannot be created overnight. Cities cannot be, it will take 5 years, 10 years also. First we will be taking cities, satellite towns near the capitals. Second, we will be looking to new capitals coming, like Gandhinagar, Raipur, Andhra Pradesh, Vijayawada, new capital is coming. Then we'll also go to mid-sized towns which are ready to reform themselves, ready to have water metering, ready to have metering of every service provided, ready to pay back services for services. then we will also take these ideas to those places also. And center and states together will identify the cities in the coming days. I am intending to call for a national consultation, a final consultation on smart cities. We'll be inviting all the secretaries of different state governments. This presentation which is made here will be made before them, and if they have any final suggestions, they will be incorporated. That will be the beginning of a launching of the smart cities in the coming days. I'm sure Gujarat with Dholera example, with the gift city here near Ahmedabad, people who can go and see it also. The Gujarat can show way to others because urbanization is more rapid in Gujarat. 43% means almost half of the population of Gujarat are living in urban areas already. So keeping that in mind, I hope this Vibrant Gujarat Summit, it provides an opportunity. See the arrangements, amazing. This is no less than any other Western countries. And the skills and the scale and the speed also with which these arrangements have been made. People used to say, Narendra Bhai hai isliye sab ho raha hai. Abhi Narendra Bhai hai nahi. यहाँ है आनंदी बहन, उनका टीम, फिर भी इतना बढ़िया. और सुबह सुबह मैंने देखा इतना लोग एक साइमल्टेनियसली, केवल एक सेमिनार नहीं है, एक सिंपोजियम नहीं है, एक कंसल्टेशन नहीं है, 4 कंसल्टेशन हो रहे चारों जगह पे. फिर भी इतना रेस्पॉन्स, कारण क्या? विश्वास है, लोग रुचि है, हंगर. सेक्रेटरी हैज यूज्ड द वर्ड हंगर. लोगों में हंगर है, आपको ये चाहिए वो चाहिए. हंगर इज नीड और नॉट द अदर हंगर थ्रू व्हिच पीपल आर सफरिंग. हंगर डेथ वाला नहीं है. द हंगर फॉर ग्रोथ, hunger for participation in development. That is the need of the hour. Friends, I would like to compliment the Gujarat government, particularly its chief minister and the ministers who are all responsible for making this Vibrant Gujarat Summit. Yesterday I saw the all top Indian companies coming here and pledging. Somebody said 1 lakh crore, somebody said 20,000 crores, somebody said 10,000 crores. They want to invest in India. That's why the Gujarat tops others with regard to investment. The others should take clue from this. Not only this, I am told the Bhutan Prime Minister, the way in which he spoke, the leaders from other countries, the way in which they spoke, and the solid, because they all have now realized India is a happening country. India is a happening country, and there is a leader who is now universally acceptable for all sections of the different parts of the globe, and India is a resurgent now. That's why these people are coming forward. I'm very happy about it. I would like to compliment the delegates who are participating in this conference and this 3-day conclave of Vibrant Gujarat. And it's not only Vibrant Gujarat, at the end of the day, it should be Vibrant India. That should be the focus for all of us. Namaskar. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir, for the thought-provoking and futuristic speech. We are highly grateful to you. I would now, with due respect, welcome and introduce Shri G.R. Aloria, IAS Additional Chief Secretary, Urban Development and Urban Housing Department, Government of Gujarat. Shri G.R. Aloria has served Sardar Sarovar Narmada Nigam, Road, State Road Transport, Home Department and many other crucial portfolios. I humbly call upon Shri G.R. Aloria to kindly give his valuable and concluding remarks. I'm sorry. Sorry.
देखिए कैसा गुजरात बाकी लोगों को मार्ग दिखाते. ये हम आए तो हमको ये फ्रूट बास्केट दिया. हमने सोचा फ्रूट बढ़िया है. बताया सर ये आपके लिए नहीं है, आपके द्वारा गरीब बच्चों के पास जाएगा. दिस विल गो फॉर द आंगनवाड़ीज. सी द स्पिरिट, द लैंड ऑफ गांधी, continuing the same spirit. That should, otherwise, you you put big garlands, big shawls and big वहीं छोड़ देंगे हम लोग, चले जाएंगे, वो बेकार हो जाएगा. कम से कम ये बेकार नहीं, आकार हो जाएगा, साकार हो जाएगा और साकार हो जाएगा. This should be the model.
Thank you very much, sir, for those kind words. We appreciate it.
Honorable dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Gujarat government, I extend my heartiest gratitude to all of you for joining us in the International Conclave on Smart Cities. It is enthralling to see participation and support from such a huge audience. I express my heartfelt gratitude to the Union Minister of India, Shri Venkaiah Naidu ji. Sir, your thoughts on development, speed, scale, skill, smart cities, good governance and cleanliness. So Gujarat is ready to take off, sir. Sir, I extend my thanks and gratitude to you, sir, to be with us and guiding us, inspiring us, sir. I would also like to thank our Minister, Sri Shankarbai Chaudhary, for housing, Sri Shankar Agarwal, Secretary Government of India, Minister Sri Jayendra Singh Ji Parmar, and Prime Minister Sri Mogen Jensen from the Trade and Development Denmark, and our delegates from Canada, Denmark, Sweden, Netherlands, and partner organizations like Canada-India Business Exchange, Indo-Canadian Business Chamber, UN Habitat, World Resources, All India Institute of Local Self-Government, and National Institute of Urban Affairs, Delhi. Sir, Gujarat has taken a lot of steps for Swachhata, sir. We launched a Mahatma Gandhi Swachhata Mission under the guidance and leadership of Honorable Prime Minister. Sir, we have also launched Gujarat Affordable Housing Policy, Slum Redevelopment Policy through PPP, sir. Now, sir, in the redevelopment and retrofitting policy is in the pipeline, sir. Sir, we have also launched Digital Gujarat in urban areas, e-Nagar policy, sir. Sir, Vision 2030, urban vision for Gujarat is in the pipeline, sir. Sir, zero waste policy in the municipal areas is also in the pipeline, sir. Sir, municipal finance, sir, you stressed, that is also in the pipeline, and very shortly, sir, we are coming out with this thing. Sir, today we have about 700 delegates from 22 countries. Sir, Gujarat is ready for the smart city project, sir. So we will be, sir, waiting for your guidance and support, sir. And in JNURM also, sir, when it was launched, Gujarat has done, it was the second best state to carry out those works, sir, in the urban infrastructure. And today, I thank all the delegates here who have come, media persons, as a part of Vibrant Gujarat. And I think our resolve to carry forward the nation under the able leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi and Honorable Chief Minister of Gujarat through the Gatishil Gujarat will be successful. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Aloria, sir, for the kind concluding remarks. I would now thank you all the dignitaries, including our Honorable Union Minister Shri Venkaiah Naidu, for your august presence and for being here in the important seminar of Smart Cities in the Vibrant Gujarat. Thank you very much, sir. Have a great day ahead. This is a moment of pride, having such eminent dignitaries on the dais. I would request all of you to give a round of applause to all the dignitaries over here. Thank you for being a great cooperative crowd. I would request be kindly seated for the next technical session, which is going to commence in a while. Because we are expecting Chief Minister, Madam, any moment with us. For the next seminar session, I would like to welcome Mr. Kevin Carmichael, Senior Fellow, Center for International Governance Innovation, with journalism as his educational background. He also has 15 years of long professional experience in journalism. We request Sir to kindly take up the session. He would be moderating the different technical sessions going to be held today, which are going to be definitely interactive and informative. So kindly be seated. Thanks for the cooperation once again.